to Storytime with Sugar. Today we're reading Harold's Circus. One moonlit evening, mainly to prove himself he could do it, Harold went for a walk on a tightrope. He made sure the rope was drawn tight and straight so it wouldn't sway. He skipped lightly across it, finding it fun to be a tightrope walker high up over the rest of the circus. He stayed up on the rope with the greatest of ease until he lost his balance. It also is easy to fall off a tightrope. Harold fell, twisting and turning with his purple crayon tight in his hand. By a stroke of luck, a comfortable-looking curve appeared beneath him, and he landed on an elephant's trunk. Quite a trick, he thought, as he rewarded the elephant with a large peanut. Elephants are such tall animals. Harold was still a long way from the ground, so he swung down from the elephant's trunk to the neck of a smaller animal. It was a lovely circus horse, beautifully trained, and Harold easily put him into a brisk trot. Harold rode with no saddle in a splendid exhibition of circus riding. At the finish of his bareback act, he leapt gracefully from the horse. To his embarrassment, he fell and turned a rather ridiculous somersault. Before anyone could laugh at the mishap, Harold pretended he had been clowning. He quickly put on a clown's hat. He put a clown's smile on his face, and he acted silly like a clown. Finally, he took off the hat and the smile, and he gave them back to the clown. The real clown was extremely funny, and Harold laughed and laughed at him. This, Harold told himself, probably was the best circus he had ever seen in his life. Like all circuses, it had a fat lady. She was really amazingly fat, and of course there was a very tall man. He was really astoundingly tall, and next to him was a very small man. There was another man, a lemonade man. He had a great tank of lemonade. Harold stopped for a drink of it through a straw. It was quite refreshing. He left some money on the counter to pay for the drink, and he went on looking for the man who was shot out of a cannon. Harold wasn't sure what a man who was shot out of a cannon would look like, but anyway, he wasn't there, though the cannon was nearly ready. A circus can't wait. There was only one thing to do. The cannon fitted Harold perfectly. He got into it, and he shot out of it. He went up fast. He sailed to the top of the circus where the trapezes are and the flying rings. He reached out. He caught on to a flying ring. He swung far out on it. He let go, doing a startling flip-flop in the air, and he dived straight down. He was sure the elephant would be there to catch him again. Once more, a reassuring curve appeared beneath him. But he landed surprisingly hard. This was no elephant's trunk. It was the tail of a lion. Somehow, a lion had gotten loose in the circus. Before anyone could quite recognize the danger and become alarmed, Harold was at work getting the lion into a cage. He got into the cage himself with nothing but a lion tamer's chair. After he took his head out of the lion's mouth, it occurred to him that lions have big teeth. And suddenly, he became a bit frightened at how brave he had been. But his own feelings didn't matter. Harold told himself as he left the lion's cage, the important thing at a circus is to make the audience happy. Harold saw that everybody in his audience wore a delighted smile. Naturally, making so many people happy made Harold happy, and he smiled too, as very modestly he bowed.